So, we shall finish things off with this week's topic, where I want you to tell me how it's been going in the land of the CW superhero shows, because I'm about a year out of date, at least. Never watched Supergirl, never watched Legends. We know what we all thought of last year, and this is a brand new day, and I want to see if things have improved at all.
Right. I'm taking the lead on this one.
Okay, what do you want to start with? Because I've thrown up an image of the Flash, but I can change it.
I'm going to just give, before I go into the Flash, just my general rankings at the moment.
Interesting.
Because I've been quite vocal about Arrow. So you may have noticed. But right now, Arrow is my top show.
I could have done a spit take, but I'd have ruined my keyboard.
Yeah, so Arrow's top, then Supergirl, and then Flash.
I can't believe my ears.
So Flash. That's that. Don't want to get too in depth. Flash did not do enough with Flashpoint. It has not done enough. It's had one episode and gone, oh, it's all changed. I'm going to try and change it back, and then, oh, I can't change it back. So what I'm going to do is not. And then look at this that's changed, and she's like, oh, this is different, and this is different. But for the most part, Diggle's baby is a boy and not a girl.
What's Diggle's baby got to do with Flashpoint?
Things change. Genuinely,
babies change gender.
The amount of time they've put into this being Baby John rather than Baby Sarah. Honestly, I can't help but think that Baby John is vital to the safety of the universe, the amount of time that's been mentioned, but Flash hasn't done enough. And this week's episode has taken a positive step. A very positive step in that Jesse and Harrison have returned. I don't want to go into too many spoilers because it's not aired over here yet. It starts, I think, on the 25th of this month in the UK, 24th for Supergirl. So, and also, because they're all CW, we should be watching them in order. So it should be Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, Legends. Legends one follows episode 2 of all the others. But yeah, Flash just isn't doing what it can do. It's much better than this. It needs to be better.
Shocking. I am blown over. Scott, what do you think of the Flash so far? Whimpering in a ball. Okay, that says a lot.
Flash became my Arrow. It's heartbreaking because we go back and look at how excited I was over Flashpoint being announced as the title, and my little fangirl heart screaming inside, being like, "Oh, Flashpoint," and then it's not even Flashpoint.
It's not as bad as Arrow was. It's
never
as Arrow.
No,
it's still good TV.
It a little part of me dies each week when he comes back. Yeah, that's Flashpoint. Stop calling it that, please.
Don't use that word. Appropriation.
And the thing is, I wouldn't be bothered if the ramifications mattered. The most we've got is someone possibly being, well, not possibly being, but someone is now a metahuman. Take that for what you will. The thing that pisses me off more than anything is the Cisco thing.
Help me out here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Okay, so in the Flashpoint they're currently in, so the universe we are operating in season 3 of Flash, Cisco's brother, Dante, was killed by a drunk driver. And Barry did not go back in time to change the past. And Cisco, when Barry appeared in this reality, Cisco was upset with him. It's gone now.
Yeah.
But for about half an hour, Cisco
reveals what happened was like, I went back in time and it caused Flashpoint. And then Cisco's like, you want to go back and see my brother? By the end of that episode, Cisco's all vived up and saves Barry, and it's like, just needed my time. One episode? No!
The
Stop
end of
it,
that
Cisco.
episode was the best part of it.
It
The
was
very
good,
last-
but
The last thing you see with Caitlin.
yes,
That was
but
it. That was it.
it's just it. You have this amazing, like, look, this is what's wrong with our universe. This is what people need, and you're like, this is our one chance to do something amazing that no one's done. Not Marvel, not like TV. No one has done this, and they don't do it. And it's like, fuck my life, fuck my life, fuck my life.
I think going forward, the problem with this is because the ramifications are so low, this could just become a trope for Flash. And every couple of seasons, they can reboot by doing a little Flashpoint, and oh, look, everything's changed again.
The one thing I'm hoping happens is now that we've got, like you said, the Jesse Quick thing, that Wally goes down this path of, hey, Alchemy, I want powers. Like, that's the only thing that can redeem this is a Wally.
Wally's so irritating at the moment as
Oh,
well. Oh,
What was
powers.
what did he think was going to happen? I was like, oh, Wally.
I want some powers too. Why haven't I got any powers? Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. So
Tom
that's
Felton,
that.
though. Tom Felton. He's a bastard, but I love him.
I want them to go and investigate some like clay sort of plate and mug and jar maker just to hear him spit out the word Potter. Honestly, that is.
Did you get the snake thing?
Oh,
Wait.
God's sake.
They were on about like husks like a snake or something like that, and I was like, oh, Slytherin reference.
Oh, that's not the best reference we've had in DC TV this season. We'll get to that when we.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So, yeah, Flash.
Let me get this straight. Like, we thought Flash was gonna fix everything and make Arrow a better show. Instead, it ruined itself, and Arrow became a better show anyway.
Yes.
So the only thing that's changed for Arrow that we've seen so far is Diggle's child.
Should we talk about Arrow next?
Yes.
I think that's a logical place to go. Yeah.
Right, give me it. What's going on? Why is it
New
good?
team. New team.
What do you mean
He's
new team?
shooting-
Wait.
Right, okay. Okay, so the last season, the team was Oliver, Thea, Diggle, and Laurel.
It's like the worst
Go on.
team ever.
Okay, so end of the season. Laurel, dead. Diggle, gone off to army. Thea decided she's going to hang up because she picks up the rage from the Lazarus pit and she needs to chill out a bit and sort of have a breather. So we come into this, and obviously Felicity is the uber god. Come into this season and Oliver's still doing what he's doing. He's the mayor as well, so he's sort of kicking about, getting himself into scraps and whatnot, but he's on his own. He can't do it. And our Lord and Saviour Felicity says, you need a new team. So he gets this new team. And he's got, what is it, Wild Dog? Ragman.
And Artemis.
Mr. Artemis?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Well,
And
she's
Mr.
picking up the bird this week. Well, next week.
Yeah, and Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
And this is his new team that he's training. But he's shooting his arrows into people.
Yeah.
He's actually having people are dying.
Yeah.
There's no more using it like a club.
Oh.
I mean, Wild Dog has a gun. He just runs around with a gun. He's a bit of a fool, but wears a hockey mask, which is where the reference comes in as well. This week's episode, somebody says, what kind of hero wears a hockey mask? And then you've got Oliver Queen, otherwise known as Casey Jones, who says, I think they're cool. Which I quite like that.
Yeah, okay.
little bit meta. It made me laugh.
Okay.
The wife didn't get it at all, but
Wait,
it made me
a little bit meta. Fucking, they have Stardust making Stardust.
Okay, yeah. But it's good. It's showing you back to the old days when Oliver needs to balance real life and vigilante life, and he's got eyes on him, and the story's a little bit more serious. It's involving real people. It's gone a lot more localized rather than international.
Good.
So you can feel that there's a genuine sort of impact on what's going on with Oliver. And yeah, it's exactly what last season should have been.
Okay, so
And we're dealing with ramifications from last season.
Yeah.
Yes, Felicity's getting a comeuppance.
And Diggle.
And
Diggles. Okay, so yeah. This season kicks off. Felicity, Ragman was from Haven Rock.
just tell me a bit about Ragman, because I know what Ragman is in the comics. How does that work on TV?
Okay, Ragman's from Haven Rock, and which is the place that was bombed, the only
By the
place that
nuke.
was hit by a nuclear bomb.
All
Despite
of
Dark
those
setting
nukes.
off 15,000, one of them hit Haven Rock at Felicity's instruction. She redirected it for the lower casualty numbers. He survives by being bundled up. His dad bundles him up in these rags, which are supposedly powerful.
Brilliant.
And he comes into Star City, getting upset with people who caused this to happen, and who he perceives are the problem. And then he gets recruited afterwards. But yeah, Felicity's come up and says that Ragman's now...
What's his powers? Is he proper Ragman?
Well, the rags are like, ooh, grabby.
The rags grab people.
Yeah.
Right.
He says he doesn't... The last episode, he said he doesn't really have complete control over them.
Okay.
He sort of shows up in a place and points himself towards somebody, and they sort of do it.
Does the effect work well? Like, does it look alright on the screen?
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Okay, good.
In the darkness of Arrow, it works really well.
Okay.
It's quite a dark show. Mr. Terrific's irritating. He is irritating, and he will always be irritating.
He was irritating last season, so...
I don't even think it's a character thing. I think the actor just irritates me.
Especially when he goes on Twitter starting causing shit as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Artemis is good.
Who's
She
Artemis?
reminds me-
Because I don't know what that is.
Artemis is a Hunt Barrow person from the comics and Young Justice.
She picks up Black Canary's gear last season.
But
and
who
sort of
is
ran around.
the character in the show? Like, is it someone I will have met?
Give me a sec.
Some
No,
random-
no. She showed up last season. She wasn't random. She started vigilanteing herself.
Oh, right.
Probably one of her parents died or something like that. The typical vigilante starting story. But she picked up the Black Canary's kit and started scrapping as the Black Canary after she died.
Right.
But now she's obviously got the right direction for Oliver, so he's recruited her in as well.
Okay.
She's good. She looks like a young Haley Steinfeld, which is really difficult to equate while I'm watching it because I keep expecting her to break into song. And I think also the actress is older than Haley Steinfeld. And the other person is Wild Dog, who is an interesting character. He's just pure aggression, basically. He can't seem to correlate him taking a step back and the success of a mission. So that's a good little conflict there for Oliver and him to get through, and you do sort of feel for the relationship is real as well. Artemis is Evelyn Sharp. You ever seen the name Evelyn Sharp?
Have you watched Young Justice, Stu?
Have I watched it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The cartoon.
Yeah, it's the green Archie girl.
Well, I knew that there was a character in the comic called Artemis, but I didn't know that they had introduced anyone to be that person in the TV show. So
Yeah.
I didn't know if it had come out of nowhere or if someone had changed from one thing to another. Because at one point I thought Thea was going to end up being Artemis or something. I don't know what she ended up being.
Speedy.
Okay. What?
Flashback wise,
Yeah.
we're seeing Oliver joining the Bradva, which is eventually, after all the crap flashbacks from last season, we're finally seeing something which actually makes sense.
Okay.
Deadshot.
Has he still got a terrible wig and is he growing a beard or what?
Who? Oliver?
Yeah.
Terrible wig, yes. Growing a beard, no.
Okay.
But terrible wig in younger form.
Brilliant.
Deadshot, go on, Scott.
Deadshot. Deadshot was in this episode.
How could... Oh, yeah. Haven't we had Deadshot before?
We have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so the background, Deadshot went on a mission, which, the mission was one of those ones where chances are you're going to die while doing it, but they'd persuaded him to do it through some sort of special means, and he was working for Argus at the time under a certain person called Amanda Waller. So you sort of know what's going on there, and Deadshot that we know, Floyd Lawton, did not make it out of that mission alive. He sacrificed himself for the rest of the team, including John and Lila Diggle.
Okay.
So that's where we and us and Team Arrow and everybody else thinks that Floyd Lawton died.
Yeah.
And you come out of this episode still thinking that Floyd Lawton died. But Diggle's seen things. He's in prison.
Oh.
Diggle's in lockup. I don't really want to go into why, because it's a hark back to last season.
Because he was.
But it's an interesting storyline.
Police finally caught up to him.
I think
him up for that helmet.
Let's not talk about Diggle's helmet, please. I think next week's episode is going to have a little bit more of an impact, and it's going to be more important to understand what's going on with Diggle's storyline.
It's exciting stuff, though. I didn't expect it, and it was cool.
I'm gobsmacked.
But I think by reintroducing Diggle's visions of Floyd Lawton, it's sort of put into the mind of the viewer. But we never saw a body. And we all know what the rules are when it comes to comic book deaths. Unless you see a body, that person is not dead.
Especially
and even
when
then,
you've
it's
got
probably
the
not
Lazarus
permanent.
Pit in the show.
Lazarus Pit's gone.
Really?
Yeah, it went badass.
It was overused, and so they got rid of it, which was the correct thing to do.
Okay.
Yes.
What show do you want to talk about next? Supergirl or Legends?
Do you want to save the best to last? And I'll go with Legends first. Like, Legends? We can talk about Legends now?
Yeah, for what we've seen of it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the only thing I don't like about Legends right now is they've now got rid of both my favourite characters.
Who are your favourite characters?
Captain Cold and Rip Hunter.
Captain Cold, the best villain ever.
He's
so
amazing!
So good in Legends.
He's so good! You have to watch Legends for Captain Cold alone.
How can he act in front of scenery if he's just chewed the fuck out of it all?
I love Captain Cold.
I think you might be pleasantly surprised. One of the shows this week, I saw something as I was scrolling through Reddit the other day just mentioning Captain Cold. I don't know which show it is. I don't even know if it's this week.
Right.
So,
well, we know
I think you might
back.
be pleasantly surprised.
We know he's back. Like, because the Legion of Doom or whatever the hell they're doing on thingy. I don't know if he's part of that or what. I don't know what's happening with that. But I'm excited because we see a Nazi Damien Dark being the most villainous he's probably been on any of the CW shows. On a Nazi U-boat. And then Reverse Flash comes in and takes all these Nazis out. It was great. I was like, sure, fuck it. This is what the show it is.
Basically, Legends of Tomorrow does a better Flashpoint every week than Flash spent 2 seasons building up to.
Oh, that's tragic.
Oh,
really.
they had a T-Rex in the opening episode as well.
Yeah, and a T-Rex. Oh, genuinely, it's mental. The show
Legends is just
crazy.
fun. Legends is pure fun.
This is what I imagine Legion's going to be like for at least the first half of the first season. Just absolute nonsense. Craziness.
I don't mind it. Like, I don't
brilliant.
need a serious story, whatever. Like, this is just a group of people now going to be... They've lost their leader, flying through time, trying to solve the problems that they created last season, and that's fine.
That was what it
That's
is.
the Justice Society. It's great. That end shot of episode 1 was perfect. Like, that was just like... Because you have all these, like, they're just like, I guess we'll go fly about now. We're going to go and stop Dark or whatever. Or we'll find this time person going around fucking with time. And then you see, I don't know the names. There's Our Man, Stargirl, the one, whatever her name is, the one with the scepter. She flies down. It looks great. And then they're all just confront them. And then it's just like, oh, crap. So there's going to be a throwdown, and I can't wait to watch that. That's going to be awesome. It's going to be good. I'm good. I'm happy. And like, now Mick's like the best part of the show, apart from Sarah Lance, because she's always amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Legends is fun.
Okay.
Like,
it's unapologetic. It is ridiculous. Yeah. It's mental, and you can tell they're having a whale of a time filming it. And it's nonsense. They got to dress up as Louis XIV courtiers. It's just absolute drivel. But it is so entertaining to watch. You're never going to get high drama out of it. You're never going to get some sort of Martha scene. going on out of Legends. But what you are going to get is 45 minutes of a good laugh.
I can live with
and
that.
It's forwards the story.
Yeah,
it's probably the show that appeals to me most from what you've said about these so far.
Yeah, like it's a bit hammy in places, and I think they know it's hammy, which is why I think Captain Cold works so well, especially in that fucking finale. Oh my god, that
No.
situation. But yeah.
All right, let's talk about Supergirl then.
Do you watch Legends?
Well, maybe.
It's
maybe.
Probably not.
Supergirl's
done a blinding job of moving to the CW.
Oh,
it's the best move it could have made. It's suffered by moving out of LA, cast wise. A couple of cast members have gone, so we've lost one of the lanes. What's her name? Jenna Tatum.
Yeah, that one.
Played
I can't remember the name. I know who you mean.
Who was James Olsen's ex. We've lost crazy scientist dude. I'm doing really well with names. It's been a long old day. What's his name? The one who you were telling me Wonder Woman said hit him with the lasso of truth.
Bollocks! I can't remember. Oh,
Maxwell Lord.
Maxwell Lord.
Yes,
he's gone, and those two just didn't reappear at the start of season 2. And Cat Grant, it's just had an emotional farewell as she departs because they're filming outside of LA. But nonetheless, they seem to have rubbed out the James Olsen and Supergirl romance storyline by moving Jimmy to Kat's position. So it'd be inappropriate in the story for their romance to continue. So that's gone.
Fine with that. That was the one thing that annoyed me about season 1.
Didn't work. They put in a romantic storyline because they could put her in a romantic storyline. It's gone now. That's been fixed.
Hang on. So they've moved to the CW and gotten rid of a nonsensical romantic plotline.
Honestly, this show is doing really well this season.
It's being really clever. It could still fall into pitfalls, don't get us wrong.
I mean, interestingly enough, I think they've changed the costume slightly as well. I think they've... It's going to sound... I think they've made her, when she's Supergirl, wear a little bit more makeup, and I believe they've shortened the skirt length. Genuinely. Which isn't CW at all, so maybe I'm just seeing things. Superman was in the first couple. I'll just skirt right over that one.
I heard that Superman was well handled.
Oh, hell yeah, he was.
Very well done. Very well done.
I love Smallville.
This is where you see the problems with having a separate TV and cinema universe, because these two people are the big screen Superman and Supergirl. This is what they should be doing. Yeah, it should be a complete cross-pollination, because he was an absolute spot-on Superman. He wasn't like... It's like when you look at Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. He's not Peter Parker because he's just too good-looking. Yeah. This guy was Clark Kent. He wasn't as good-looking as Henry Cavill, but he pulled off Superman really well. They had the on-screen chemistry as though they were brother and sister, which I realise they're cousins, but it's the same sort of thing. They worked on screen together really well.
Yeah.
The whole dynamic of the show has changed. And yes, it's still a light-hearted programme. They're never going to tackle serious issues like depression or sexual assault like the other shows have done. But what they will show you is how these two blue-eyed superheroes will save the world. And they'll do it well. And it works. Mm-hmm. It's a good show now.
Yeah, like
it wasn't horrendous.
No,
last season
it was just still great. All good.
This season it's good.
Yeah, like so I love Smallville. I love Smallville for 10 years of my life, and Superman in one episode felt more like Superman than 10 years of Smallville, which shows a lot how CW have come a long way. And bloody hell, just seeing them two flying and saving each other. The dialogue was a little cringy. Like, Oh, hey, Cuz. Oh, I was like, oh.
Hey, cuz.
Oh, no, please,
Do
no.
you want to save them or do you want to do PR? Yeah, all
It
that
was-
sort of thing.
that stuff's a bit cringy, but just when they got down to it and they saved that little plane shuttle thing, whatever, I can't remember what it was. It was just great. And seeing Clark Kent just rattling off like, yes, Mr. White, yes, Mr. White. Like, yeah, it's
Cat
Perry White,
Grant,
isn't it? Yeah.
Cat Grant had a crush on Clark Kent. It was
so,
brilliant.
so good.
It was an incidental bit of nonsense, but it completely reduced the uber powerful Cat Grant to a dithering pile of jelly when he walked by. It was just stupid but perfect as well. Didn't become the big topic of the show. It just happened. It was more representative of real life. These things do happen, and it was spot on. They've moved. I think they've made Jimmy take a step back as a character quite significantly. Whether he takes a step forward now, but
I guess
Kara's
you
now.
haven't seen that picture then.
I haven't seen any pictures.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but something was tweeted out of Jimmy or someone who looks a lot like Jimmy in a certain superhero armor, something type thing.
Oh.
So, don't know where that's coming from.
We'll see.
We shall.
Wynn is now working for the DEO. The DEO have moved out of their cave.
Wait, I don't know what any of that is.
Like they had like a little base, and it was in a cave, and it.
DEO.
Yeah, it was nonsense. Department for Extraterrestrial Origins or something like that. Organisms and just basically it was Martian Manhunter heading it up as Hank Henshaw.
Yeah.
Alongside Alex Danvers, who was his second in command, who then recruited Supergirl into it. And they had a cave, and it was all very secretive and nonsense. Now they've got a building, and yeah, all these comments were made about. They acknowledged it as well in the first episode. Why the hell did you make me go all the way out to that cave every day when this is like 2 blocks away from my apartment? Stuff like that, nonsense little bits, but they acknowledged it, and they've just refreshed it, and it's worked. It's done a blinding job for the show.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So overall, we've got the best show from last year in the gutter, and the rest are doing pretty well.
Yeah. Basically.
I'm reluctant to say gutter.
I'm there. I'm there.
Please.
But then again, I was this Flash fanboy who had so high expectations. It'll get back. I'm almost saying because Alchemy's a very cool villain. I'm liking Alchemy. So
I've not held my head in my hands with Flash yet. Arrow had that treatment quite a few times last season.
Well, something weird's coming up with Mark Hamill. So that day might come, Alex.
Mark Hamill.
He seems to be in Joker makeup for a future Flash episode. So something weird is going on.
That would be a bad idea.
Flashpoint.
I've just seen an image and read a couple of
Flashpoint
anecdotal reports from the set. So
incidentally, I was thinking about the Suicide Squad thing from Arrow when they wrote them out supposedly under the instruction of Warner Brothers, saying that we didn't want to confuse people. Everybody subsequently has said that's not the case, and they weren't instructed to write them out. In fact, they were told to increase the storylines so that the public had an appreciation of who the Suicide Squad were. Now, my first thought on this Mark Hamill thing is, would you want to confuse the Jared Leto fans for Mark Hamill? But honestly, if I was Warner Brothers, I'd be trying to make everybody forget that we cast Jared Leto as the Joker. I'd be doing all I can. I don't know what you're doing, Scott, with your feet.
I have Jared Leto socks on.
Okay, you have Jared Leto. Oh yes, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Joker socks on.
Yeah, off your pals because you love him so much. Yeah, I'd be trying to make everyone forget. So fair enough, Mark Hamill. Can't be worse. Cannot be worse than Jared Leto. So it still won't put it in the gutter for me.
Well, we'll see.
They can rep on that ridiculous Joker.
There's still time.
By a mental. mental episode starring Mark Hamill. I'm fine with that.
I mean, I love Mark Hamill's Joker. I just don't necessarily want to see him
On Flash.
doing
Flash.
it in the real. Yeah.
Can we keep? Yeah, I mean, we've brought Superman into Supergirl, but keep Batman out. Maybe it doesn't work.
We'll see what
It's
they're
not-
doing. I don't know if it's just another one of those meta nods they like to do.
Well, Mark Hamill's just having a laugh.
I think they'd
He's
let him
gone
do
very
whatever he wanted. Just to...
He's gone the same as Ryan Reynolds, just honestly having so much fun with life.
Yeah.
Just doesn't care.
Oh, well. Anything else you guys want to say about the DC TV slate?
Gotham.
No.
Oh, shit. We're not doing Gotham. No, we're not doing Gotham.
I haven't watched
If
any.
we're doing
of these
Gotham, we're doing Lucifer.
No. There is
Yeah,
a policy
so-
on this show that we will never talk about Gotham. We have to just pretend it doesn't exist. So,
That's not hard.
I still haven't finished season 2 of Gotham.
just don't bother.
Ah, I got further than Alex in something. I shouldn't be proud of that. Shouldn't be proud of that.
All right. Well,
Shouldn't.
we'll bring it to a close then. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you watched, you can show us some appreciation with a review on iTunes, or give us a thumbs up on YouTube, or whatever the thing is. There's star ratings. There's all sorts of weird shit. I don't know how it works. But do something nice, and we'll appreciate you for it. Or you can reach out directly if you want to tell these boys how terrible Squirrel Girl is. You can tell Alex at TellyAlex on Twitter, and Scott is at ScottSedman94 on Twitter, and I am at IamKirkman. Thanks very much, Alex. And,
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Scott.
Pleasure as always.
And we'll see you all next time.
Ciao.